Samsung ruled the flip-style phone space for years with its Z Flip devices up until last year when the Motorola Razr Plus 2023 dethroned the Flip. This year's Galaxy Z Flip 6 aims to reverse the course and get back its title as one of the best foldable phones. Obviously, all the usual upgrades are in tow with this charming little flippable, like its new 50MP main camera, more durable design, and more functional flex window display. These hardware changes are good, but they are supplemented by the same Galaxy AI features I found helpful in saving me time with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, plus a few new AI capabilities. If that's not enough, there is a much bigger emphasis on personalizing the Galaxy Z Flip 6. These are all fine and dandy for any phone release. However, it's going to take a lot to convince people to shell out an additional $100 more now that the Samsung has raised the price of the Galaxy Z Flip 6. In my Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 review, I will tell you if all these new AI features and upgrades justify that higher $1,099 starting price for this phone. At first glance, it doesn't look like much has changed with the design of the Galaxy Z Flip 6, which sports a familiar trim and aesthetic as last year's Galaxy Z Flip 5. The phone remains incredibly compact when closed, and its armor aluminum frame gives the Flip a solid feel in the hand. However, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 is not as ergonomic as I'd like because its flatter edges. The only visible difference with the design this time around is how the outlines of the camera lenses are accented by the same paint job as the phone, giving the phone a much more pleasing contrast. Speaking of trims, I really like the pastel-like color Samsung's using for the Galaxy Z Flip 6, like my blue colored review unit. It's better made too, with a matte finish that prevents smudges and fingerprints from darting up the Z Flip 6. The size and design of the flex window also looks identical to late year, complete with the same fin cutout on the bottom right where the cover display meets the cameras. While this keeps a design identity for the Galaxy Z Flip 6, I was hoping that Samsung would follow Motorola's lead by increasing the display size even more. Samsung did increase the Flip 6's durability with a new dual rail hinge design, giving the phone a more responsive feel whenever I close it. More importantly, however, the crease in the middle of the phone is much more subdued. In fact, I'd argue it's less noticeable than the Razr Plus 2024 crease. My only gripe about the Galaxy Z Flip 6 design is that it's notoriously hard to open because of its flat edges and the tight seam between the two sides. I wish there was a lip of some kind around the edge, because even getting my fingernails in between the two halves to properly open, so unfolding the phone one-handed is harder. On another note, I am delighted by the dose of personalization that's added to the Flip 6 when it's paired with the new Flip suitcases that combine interactive block screens to the flex window. There are even a couple of new ones I checked out with built-in LEDs that light up the back of the phone, which takes power via the phone's wireless charging. These add-ons go a long way to make people take notice of the phone. If you look solely at the specs, you will find that there is nothing immediately different about the displays on the Galaxy Z Flip 6. That goes for both its inner and outer display. The latter's a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED with a dynamic refresh rate up to 120Hz, while the outer screen is a 3.4-inch AMOLED touchscreen with a 60Hz refresh rate. While I am not opposed to these specs, I still wish that Samsung increased the size of its outer display at the very least, more so after Motorola added a larger screen to the exterior of the Razr Plus 2024. What I am more concerned about is how these displays perform. Samsung's claim of 2600 nits for the inner display is bold, but our benchmark testing reveals a peak brightness of 1942 nits. I'm actually impressed by the result because it surpasses the Galaxy Z Flip 5's 1504 nit reading, which means the Z Flip 6 is much easier to see outdoors on sunny days. However, the Z Flip 6 doesn't get as bright as Motorola Razr's Plus 2024 peak output of 2158 nits. Holding the two side by side is one another and playing the same video, my eyes can easily tell the Razr's screen is brighter than the Flip's. That's also true of the phone's outer displays, as Motorola's larger, more detailed panel is a notch brighter in plain view of the sun. Despite this, I do prefer how the Galaxy Z Flip 6's Super AMOLED display casts the better contrast and punchier colors, perfect for watching videos or the occasional gaming season. The 3.4-inch flex window on the Galaxy Z Flip 6 becomes more customizable than before. Not only can you swipe through the various widgets on this display, but there is now the option to combine multiple widgets into the one home screen layout, making it much more convenient to see important things without opening the phone. I also love the new interactive lock screens that respond to touch and movement, like one with a donut that moves around the lock screen whenever you tilt or rotate the Galaxy Z Flip 6. While all of these new personalization options with the flex window are great, accessing full apps still requires a workaround that involves downloading the Good Lock app. Although it requires a few steps to set up, I'm still confused why Samsung neglects to make this a native feature, because it gives the flex window more utility. For example, it's perfect for when I just want to scroll my social media apps to watch endless video reels while I'm sitting on the train headed for my next stop. I am very excited for the cameras in the Galaxy Z Flip 6. That's because the phone now features an upgraded 50MP main camera paired with 12MP ultra-wide lens. The former is a huge step up from the Z Flip 5's 12MP camera, but it is made better because of how the Galaxy Z Flip 6 leverage pixel binding to offer a reasonable 2x zoom with optical lag quality. This is the smarter way to approaching the camera, seeing that it effectively offers the range in most triple camera setups, but with a more compact dual camera arrangement instead. There is also a new camcorder mode, just like on the Razr Plus 2024, that gives a nostalgic feel when the phone's folded in the halfway position, complete with zoom control at your fingertips. Another new feature is the intelligent way the Galaxy Z Flip 6 can frame my shots with AI zoom. No matter who I am shooting, whether it's just myself or a group of people, the AI zoom will automatically frame the shot correctly. Similar to Samsung's Galaxy S flagships, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 benefits from a rich camera app that's filled with all the modes you'd want in a phone and a few extras like hyperlapse, dual recording, and portrait video. There is even a pro video mode with full manual control, which few camera apps offer. I also love how the flex window can be turned on to act as a preview screen, making it perfect for blogging and self-recordings. As a videographer, these features are a tremendous help. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 is undoubtedly a phone for creators with its rich set of features and tools, but ultimately its camera performance will show me if it's worthy of being a best camera phone contender. Here are some camera samples of Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6. I genuinely like the Galaxy Z Flip 6. It's a charming flip phone with more utility than the average slate, while it's still offering one of the best-in-class cameras among foldables. There are also the handful of new Galaxy AI features that add a dash of extra convenience into the mix. Despite all of this, it's hard to overlook how Samsung is demanding $100 more for this phone with a higher cost in tow. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 doesn't convince me enough that it's doing more or performing better than the competition, and I don't have to look far because the Razr Plus 2024 proves my point. Not only does it have a much longer battery life and brighter screen, Motorola still manages to throw in a larger, higher resolution outer screen. Given the $100 premium this foldable now commands, I was hoping for so much more with the Z Flip 6 to make it a compelling reason for people to upgrade or switch to it. Unless you find a deal that's hard to pass up, Samsung doesn't do as good of a job at convincing me that there is $100 worth of improvements in this year's device.